Hello, welcome to Whiteboard Politics. I've been asked to explain my stance on Wales becoming a nation of sanctuary and my objections to it. Um, my first objection really is Wales is one of the poorest nations in Europe. So for us to be called a nation of sanctuary is really just a bit of gaslighting by the political class in Wales. I mean, it's like saying that we can do this because we're so wealthy. But the truth is, the people in Wales are not wealthy. We are one of the poorest nations in Europe, even now. Um, we were when we were in the European Union, and we are now. Nothing's changed for the people of Wales. So, what happens under the Sanctuary Agreement, or the Nation of Sanctuary Agreement? What does it mean in practice? It just means that we give, or the Welsh Government will give some help, additional help, to people who come here. To help them integrate. Well, I want some help. I'd like some help finding a dentist. I'd like some help getting a doctor's appointment. I'd like some help seeing my mother getting some care. You know what I mean? Or I'd like some help with my daughter or my grandchildren getting housing. You know what I mean? I'd like a little extra help as well, like most Welsh people. So it's just gaslighting. And of course, because it's aimed at migration, people naturally think that it's the migrants that are the problem because they're coming here and taking these things from us. Well, they're not. The people to blame are the politicians. Before we became a nation of sanctuary, we were already having these problems. We were every short of healthcare, dentists, public transport, all these things that people are trying to blame refugees on and illegal migrants and boat people on, we had before they started coming. This is just hiding the fact and transferring the blame onto migrants where it should be at the feet of the politicians in Wales. Since the Senate has been created, there's been nothing but waste. Money waste is absolutely as bad as it can be. I don't think they could pat themselves on the back for anything. The only thing I've seen worse run than Wales in the Senate is Ceredig Union under the leadership of Plaid Cymru. So this is a nonsense. Being a nation of sanctuary, just gaslighting you. It means nothing. You know what I mean? And it takes up a lot of political time because people associate this with all the economic migrants and all the boat people coming over. It's nothing to do with them. These are refugees from where it says here is Ukraine, Afghanistan, and Syria. Okay, but everybody sees them all into one, all the migration as one, and that's a benefit to them because where I would like to say, look, there's all these people from Africa coming over and taking all our jobs, right? And the only reason they are is because the wages are so low. And if I say anything like that, I question it, you sort of get labelled, oh, are you being racist? Is it because they're black? No, it's not because they're black. It's because they're keeping the wages low of Wales. You know what I mean? We should be putting up wages, not bringing people in to do that job for less money. You know what I mean? Our job or their job as politicians is to make life better for us, not make it worse. Are they working for the people of Wales or are they working for companies and corporations? You know what I mean? So when you go and you want to blame migrants for, you know what I mean, doing these jobs, the only thing and coming into our country and taking our houses, the only people letting them is politicians because they won't stand up to anything that will threaten their jobs, their income, which is the most important thing for that. And could I prove that statement? Well, we know we got a different voting system now in Wales. Did you get a chance to vote for that? No, they dictated that from the Senate. It is now virtually impossible to get rid of some of the politicians from the Senate because of the system. If they're in Plaid Cymru, say, if the worst politician there is number one on the list, even if not very few people, half the people voted for Plaid Cymru this time, they'd still get in, they still keep their job. That's why we've got 96 of them now. Everything they've done is just to protect their jobs. It doesn't benefit us whatsoever having more politicians in the Senate. It really doesn't. You know what I mean? What more benefit is there to us to having 36 more people that look after themselves and don't look after us? Of course, they're going to tell you they're going to look after us as we're running up to the election. They always do. You know what I mean? But then they give you nonsense like this. You know what I mean? Look after the Welsh people and we'll look after you. Our politicians haven't looked after us and we can't get rid of them now. The worst of the worst will be there because of this change. So what does the future hold? Well, the future must hold us having a referendum on which way we want to vote and how we want to elect our own politicians. We can no longer rely on the Senate to be fair and give us the best way for us. It's always the best way for them. We need to decide how we spend our budget, you know what I mean? And how we elect our politicians. The only thing that's happened now is protectionism for politicians. You know what I mean? We can't get rid of them. We can't get rid of the bad ones. If they're number one on that list, even if a very few people still vote for that party, they're still getting in. So that's my explanation for the Nation of Sanctuary. It's just a bit of gaslighting to take your eyes off what the politicians are doing in Wales. Don't be fooled by it. Like and subscribe to this video if you would, please, and I'll speak to you shortly.